Welcome to the Queen Silver Show. Tune in at 11, good laugh, good vibe, that's for sure. Get smooth with Tim, get smooth with Tim. They have you rolling like you popped the pill. Once you hear the show, you ain't gonna want it to end. Get creative with the sounds you can make with your mouth. Reaching all over the world, Queen Silver in the house. Award-winning show, got the #1 spot, look out. It's the Queen Silver Show. 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 Look out.
Hi, this is Joe Mass. You are listening to the Queen Sylvie Show. You are now part of the royalty.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live, it's time for the silky smooth sounds of Smooth Tim and Her Majesty herself, Queen Sylvie.
Hey, welcome to another terrific Tuesday on the Queen Sylvie Show. This is Smooth Tim, and I thank you for joining us, no matter what time of day it is, and no matter what part of the world you're in. We thank you for joining us. It is now my absolute pleasure to introduce to my left the world's funniest comedian, the world's sexiest granny, and my co-host and everything else, Queen Sylvie. Good morning, Queen.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world today. Yes, I am Queen Sylvie of the multiple award-winning The Queen Sylvie Show. Thank you for tuning in today on this terrific Tuesday. Smooth, how are you today?
I'm doing terrific on this Tuesday, Queen, and might I ask how you're doing?
As always, I am supercalifragilistic.
Expialidocious, I suppose, is 24/7, 365. Queen Sylvie, you are simply amazing.
And I'm also hot. Look, I am hot.
Careful.
On this terrific Tuesday.
Sparkling over here.
The weather is so beautiful here
Isn't
today.
that nice?
It is so great.
Great day in Ohio.
It is a great
Finally
day.
in the 80s.
Yep, I'm loving it.
Absolutely.
I hope you're loving it wherever you are, whether it's raining, snowing, whatever it is. Be thankful you woke up today and make the most of your day. We're going to make the most of your terrific Tuesday today because we have a great lineup of guests and announcements today, don't we?
Absolutely, Queen. On this terrific Tuesday, we have musician, poet, author, producer, promoter, CEO, and founder of the Welsh Factor, which happens to be the largest and longest established talent show in Wales, Mr. David Gareth Thomas. And then I'm telling you what, this guy seems to do it all.
Yeah, he does.
It's going to be a very interesting conversation that we have with him. Also, our hearts and prayers go out to the world again because we're still going through this pandemic. Mm-hmm. People, we realize that things are tough and things are going on all over the world. And here in Ohio, we're actually like giving away millions of dollars.
I'm not even going to talk about all that. I'm not.
Free college education. There's all kind. You got to read about this. Anyhow, that's off topic from the show.
Yeah, Queen is not even going to touch that whole subject. All I want to do is want to say to you, no matter what you see or hear in the media, be your own judge. Take care of yourself and be careful out there. There's things they're not saying. You must realize this, and so
Yep. Two sides of every coin, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
Yes, ma'am. Also, let's take a moment to look at the top of the screen and sign up for the Queen Sylvie Show's Friends Club. Mm-hmm. It's both free and rewarding.
It's very rewarding. We love paying it forward. We love giving gifts away, and so it's simply free. Just simply send us your contact information and come aboard. There's things that we share that we don't share during the Queen Sylvie Show on Tuesday. So, hey, you want to find out? Get yourself connected.
If you're curious, get yourself connected with us. You're going to like exactly what's going on the show and what's going on the website. And because you're worth it, our listening audience, you ladies, Foxy 5 Jewelry. Absolutely, FOX, the numeral 5 Jewelry. And you can get both sassy and affordable, fashionable accessories and jewelry for that someone special or just for yourself. Hey, the ladies, take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. Contact Monica Wright on Facebook or, again, Foxy 5 Jewelry.
That's right.
Check it out. Mm-hmm. Also, if you're in the Glass, Northwest Ohio, get your hair beautified, get your hair touched up. Get hold of Renita Easley. And she's got over 30 years experience to do your hair up and do it right. Queen will testify and say she can do a good job.
She know what she is doing. She is the one to come to.
Appointments aren't necessary, though. Let's shout out her phone number, 419-514-6903.
And don't forget your mask.
And do not forget your mask. Although we lifted that mandate in Ohio, a lot of stores and a lot of restaurants are still requiring them. So let's all be respectful of everybody's space. How about that? Shout outs from last year's. Yeah. Well, actually, we've been doing this 8 years now. But anyhow, so we could shout out even 8 years ago. But how about last week?
That's great.
The United States, the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Spain, Africa, the Kingdom of Tonga.
Shout out to you.
New Zealand, Australia, China, the Russian Federation, and Canada. Thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate it.
We love and appreciate you. Yes,
Absolutely.
we do.
Absolutely. And that wraps up announcements, my queen.
Why, my king, thank you very much. Listen, this is a terrific Tuesday. We have a great conversation with the man who knows talent. I was saying, David, so that he know I don't have talent, so don't think I'm auditioning or anything
got
like
talent,
that.
Queen.
Well, I have to be in the shower. I can only sing in the shower.
But you've got some good jokes for people.
Well, you dang bet you I do, but that's a whole
Some
nother.
are age appropriate, but
That's a whole nother show too. But listen, you have time to spread the word with the Queen Sylvie Show right now. We are live on your social media platforms right now. The phone lines are open. 817-602-0577. That's the number to the Queen Sylvie Show. We're more than welcome to call in and give questions for our guests or shout outs for Smooth or myself. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you.
Holler.
That's right. Hey, before I begin my conversation with the one and only, and he is the one and only, David Garrett Thomas, what I'd like to do at this moment is I'd like to share some motivational words from the Queen Sylvie Show to you. Never underestimate the power of passion. You see, passion changes everything. And if you want to be successful in this world, you have to follow your passion and believe in yourself. That's right. I believe every person is born with talent, don't you? And when talent meets passion, success happens. That's right. You see, talent plus your passion plus your action equals your superpower. That's right. And those are some motivational words from the Queen Sylvie Show to you. You know what? Last night.
Oh, that was so nice.
Thank you. But last night I fully charged my audience. So they are raring to
Apparently.
go today. That's right. Get ready because they are hot and out there. Again, thank you for tuning into the Queen Sylvie Show. We are here for you. We love and appreciate you. Spread the word
Yes, we
and
do.
give this to someone you might know who is an aspiring actor, musician, a performer. This is
Poet.
the person who knows what he's doing. He knows how to help develop you and help take you another step into this industry. And trust me, everybody needs some type of guidance, some type of trust and support. And with a passion and a purpose to create, develop, and produce superstars to the entertainment and the music industry. He is a musician. Well, I'm going to start because there's a scroll. He is a musician, a poet, author, producer, promoter, owner and founder at GT Management Productions. Owner and founder at GT Management Promotions. He is the CEO and founder at Welsh Factor, the largest and longest established multiple award-winning music industry development talent show in Wales, bringing knowledge and advice for you. From the United Kingdom, I introduce to you David Garrett Thomas. David!
How are you?
How are you today?
Yeah, fine, thanks, and thank you very much for inviting me on the show. And it's God bless America, and every blessing to everyone that's listening to the show.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a good day.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. It also means a lot that you are honoring me with your presence on the show today. Because although you are one Googleable guy, you know, you're something when you can be Googleable. But not only are you a Googleable guy, but I have not found many interviews with you.
No, I rarely do interviews because I leave it to the professionals because I cannot sing. I haven't got any talent as far as singing is concerned. In fact, if you heard me singing, you would use it as a fire alarm.
That's what you say. Yeah, listen.
Yeah, I highly doubt that, but keep going.
Yeah. You know what? You don't have to sing to bring what you are bringing forth and the platform that you have for so many in the world. Listen, you don't need to sing. You do so much. It's actually said that you're magical. Have you heard that?
No,
Yeah.
but I feel through my life that I've had a ministry of encouragement to other people. I think
Yes.
that's where my strength lies.
Yes, indeed. And you have touched the lives of, I'm going to mention one, and you must sprinkle a little magic on everyone because, Tim, do you recall when we had Bethany
Yes.
on the show?
Yes.
She popped out and popped back in like magic. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, when she did the Tinkerbell thing.
She did. It was amazing. But, you know, you're mentoring, developing, and inspiring for decades the lives of thousands, both young and old. That is a heck of an accomplishment.
Well, sometimes it's when you look back on time, it looks like a big mountain to climb, but you take it step by step, and you meet people along the way. And I've been privileged to meet very, very talented people, and help have perhaps an input in their development. And I feel quite proud of that, and I feel quite proud of when they achieve their full potential.
Absolutely. So listen, David Garrett Thomas, were your family and friends, what do they call you?
Gareth,
Garrett. So,
yeah, or GT,
GT or Garrett, may I call
Yeah,
you one or
yeah.
the other?
yeah.
All right, Garrett. Garrett is a nice name also anyway, so, you know. But as I mentioned in my motivational words, I do believe that everyone is born with talent. Do you agree with me on that?
I certainly do. And sometimes the talent is hidden, and it takes some people of understanding to draw that talent out and to encourage it. And what you find, or what I've found with a number of people, is that when you discover one talent, it's like the Bible, that they've got other talents that are underlying, and because they express that talent and develop one talent, there's other talents then that they tend to express, that perhaps they themselves didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
But soon other people recognize it.
I believe that too, because once you gain that confidence and see what you have, that just opens up more and more.
Yes.
Indeed. Now, they take you, for instance. Okay, you said you can't sing, but you do a lot of things. Now, share with me, let's go back. Share with me from 7 years old playing the piano to up to now. Give me some excerpts of your accomplishments that you are proud of.
Right. I started playing the piano when I was 7 years of age, and that's because my sister started a fortnight before me. And I suppose, you follow do. And when I was brought up, my parents were Christians, and they went to churches, and I was attracted to the sound of the pipe organ. Consequently, I tried to play it at the end of every service when every service had finished, and approach the organist at any given venue or church, and they would kindly let me have my way, so to speak, as far as the instrument was concerned. And they decided then to tell me that, or to plan for me to have pipe organ lessons. I was 10 years of age at the time. And we weren't a very well-off family. In fact, we were just on the breadline. And because my father was working and he was the only income provider in that home. And it came about, that people in the local church were talking about I was going to go for organ lessons. And one of the trustees of the chapel and the Methodist Chapel in Cummer, a chap by the name of Mr. Farrell, at the end of a service, he would put a 10-shilling note in my pocket, which was equivalent of, in UK terms, is about 50p today, or perhaps about, a couple of, perhaps about 30 or 40 cents in US currency. And he did that for 6 weeks. And when I went home, first of all, I told my mother, I said, Mr. Farrell has given me 10 shillings to buy sweets. She said, oh, no, it's not for sweets, she said, it's for your organ lesson. So my mother then took a job cleaning as such or whatever, or taking in washing from people, just to provide me with an education, or a musical education, as far as the pipe organ was concerned. When I was 10 years of age, I conducted my first wedding. And, so it was I loved the instrument. I really did. The dulcet tones that came from it, it did something for me. It was perhaps an extension of myself when I played, the pipe organ. Anyway, when I was about 15 or 16, I left off that, and I started working in the colliery. And there was a safety sketch that was within the colliery, and a number of collieries and in the mining community, the people put out a competition of a safety sketch. So every colliery then had to create a safety sketch. And when I was working underground, there were people going out early, and I said, well, where are you going? And they said, oh, well, we're going to practice a sketch. And I said, what's that for? Oh, he said, the safety campaign. So I said, well, do you want a pianist? He said, well, you can play the piano, can you? I said, yeah. And so I went out. So I wrote a couple of ditties for them, but anyway, we progressed. We went around the local communities to practice our sketch as such, and whole families came, to the events. And an entertainment agent at the time, he said, we could employ you, he said, as a musician, in our venues. And he said, you could get paid for it. I said, what do you mean get paid for it? Because I didn't believe at the time that you could get paid for something, that you enjoyed. And quite frankly, I'd have done it for nothing because I enjoyed it. Anyway.
David, excuse me for a minute, David. We lost your video feed. Still got your audio feed, but we lost your video feed.
Yeah, 1 second. Where's that gone then?
Could be in your meeting window.
Yeah, it's right.
You're back.
See, I told you, magical.
There we go.
I said
he is magical. You know what?
They keep doing that.
This whole crew is magical.
I didn't think for 1 minute then it was my side. I thought it was that you were controlling it, but no problem.
You are so magical. I kid you not. But continue, if you will, because you know what? It is such a blessing to have people put into your path that help inspire and motivate.
Well, I started playing around the venues, and my job was accompanying people, and I went on like this until the time that backing tracks became prevalent in the industry, or as a lot of people worldwide is known as playback. So that would make me redundant as a musician. And the same agent that discovered me in the first place, he said, why did you open an entertainment agency? So that's what I did, and we became to be the biggest entertainment agency in South Wales. At the time, we were bringing in our country. We've got an area called the Northeast, and all over the country that the people, because it's part of the England, Scotland, part of the United Kingdom, and because we were based in Wales, we used to bring shows in from Scotland, all over the UK, and we used to put them on contract for perhaps 10 days at a time, whereby we would find venues for them, and we used to bring in perhaps about 14 units a week. So this went on for quite some time, and I got to the stage there where we started working abroad and supplying the casinos in Portugal, because my wife is Portuguese and we made the connection there. So it was a case, that was another chapter in our history. I also went into promotion then, where we worked the 3 degrees in our hometown in 1985, and we brought Barbara Dixon into the Avon Lido in the summer of that year as well. And we also brought Tony Christie down on a tour. So I dipped my toe in the market of promoting the stars as they were, because I never wanted to be. When I was in my old age, I didn't want to be on a rocking chair, going back and forth and thinking what might have been. So
Right.
I decided I wanted to find out now. So when I could look back, I thought, well, I had a go at it. I knew exactly what it was, and I had that kind of experience. And I'm glad I did that. So the industry started changing, and it became unaffordable to bring people into the area. So I said to my daughter, who runs the Welsh Factor with me, I said, we ought to start a recruitment arm. Well, it was one act, that was part of a company at the time. He said, why don't you do a talent show? Now, at that time, I got to confess, a talent show was the last thing that I ever wanted to get involved in. I'll tell you why, because in some venues, they would phone our office and say, we won't need any artists, for the next 12 or 15 weeks because we're running a talent show. So because talent shows there would take business away from our office, we didn't like to embrace it. But anyway, I had this guy come in the office and say, why don't you run a talent show? And I said, Dave, that's the last thing I want to do. Well, he said, do it in Merthyr. There's somebody that's prepared to, start something off. So I said, okay, we'll do it. So we just started the talent show, and it was hard at first, to be quite frank with you, but then it started to take off. And I said to my daughter, I said, we should name it, give it a brand or something, to if we're going to do these type of things. And she said, we'll call it the Welsh Factor. Because,
Okay. Stop right there. There, because there's things in between there that I want to share still. And before I go any further, because you mentioned it, before I go any further, I want to acknowledge and I want to shout out your business partner, the co-CEO and founder at Welsh Factor, voted 2011 Business Person of the Year, your daughter, the beautiful and the intelligent Queen Anna Marie Thomas. You were going at it so great, and I'm like, but I want to throw her in there because listen, she's a great part of a lot of what Welsh Factor, her business, you guys' collaboration. What else would you like to say and share to the world about this fantastic, beautiful daughter of yours?
Well, Anna is very, very creative, and she is the organizer, and she organizes the Welsh Factor shows, and I sort the shows out. When people apply, I give them slots. But Anna, she goes to the venue, she sets the stage up, she decorates the stage, she prepares everything for everyone. She does the videography now, and she does the photography. She does make sure that the sound guy is all on cue. Myself, for the compere, I do the cue cards for the compere, so that it's run in a professional manner. And I feel that if anybody's got any talent, they deserve the best. They deserve the best facilities, so that they can present that talent to the audience. This is why I think the Welsh Factor, because we dot the I's and cross the T's, because we are professional in our approach, because we employ a professional compere, we employ a professional sound guy, so that the people just get the best.
Absolutely, that's a lot of hats to wear. and a lot of things to accomplish. But when you have that passion and when you have that purpose, you know, the sky is the limit to where you're going. And what you and your daughter are doing, audience, give it up. I'm going to say hats off to you all, because there are so many talents out here who needs this guidance, who needs this help. You did GT Management Promotions. That's the entertainment agency that's based in South Wales. What was the services, or what is the services that you offer there?
Well, the services we offer from people who come through the Welsh Factor, to just give a brief outlay of what we do. One, we assess them when they come to the Welsh Factor. We ensure that all our judges are kind and encouraging, so when they come on stage, they're not embarrassed in any way whatsoever. And when we see what they can do, the first thing we ask is if they've got a voice coach. Sometimes we'll know if they've got a voice coach by the way they present themselves.
Is this at GT Management, or is this at Welsh Factor?
As a Welsh Factor.
Okay, wait. We're gonna get to the Welsh Factor. Don't spill all the beans yet on the Welsh Factor. I was just wanting to acknowledge GT Management Promotions, because it starts somewhere, and that entity still ties in with the Welsh Factor. We're going to get up to the Welsh Factor. In fact, what I like to do is play out this commercial break, because these people also have a purpose and a passion and something to offer. And when we get back, we will get into the Welsh Factor, as well as a couple of surprises just for you on the Queen Sylvie Show.
Okay.
The Frida's Cleaning Service is a small family-owned business established in 2003. With over 17 years of professional, high-quality, and greatly satisfied service, the Frida's Cleaning Service will get the job done. Specializing in sanitizing your home, business, post-construction, and commercial cleaning, no job's too big or small. See for yourself and give us a call, 567-249-9172. La Frida's Cleaning Service. Our reputation is always spotless. Hi, I'm Queen Sylvie of the multiple award-winning The Queen Sylvie Show. You want to expand and get noticed? Then come outside your box and into our world. Internet advertising has a real impact on global awareness and even sales, so let's make an impact together. Offering for a limited time advertising and sponsorship packages that excel your purpose. So contact Queen Sylvie or Smooth Tim for the exciting opportunities that awaits. Yeah. Yes, we are back on this terrific Tuesday, the Queen Sylvie Show, talking to the one and only Mr. David Garrett Thomas. I'm going to call him Garrett because he's my friend now, and I'm honored to have him on the show doing big things. The largest and longest established multiple award-winning industry development talent show in Wales is Welsh Factor. If you don't know, now you know. Now you know. David Garrett Thomas. See, sometimes I want to say David, sometimes I want to say Garrett. GT, you know, all those names.
My mother gave in Wales. Some people, you know, have a forename and a surname. But my mother gave me a middle name, and the reason for that, just in case I grew up to be important.
Well, you know what? That's special. My mom never gave me a middle name, so I gave myself a middle name, and all these years I've been calling myself Marie. So Anna Marie, she's onto something. When you got that name Marie, you are just fantastic and phenomenal. So we're just fantastic, phenomenal queens. But GT, tell me, was it 2009? Was that the beginning of Welsh Factor?
That was, yes.
Okay, so now that's over a decade, over 10 years. Is it true that Welsh Factor has placed over 600 artists into the music industry?
Yeah, probably a minimum.
That is outstanding. I mean, granted, it's not just music. Absolutely. It's not just music, but Welsh Factor helps aspiring singers, dancers, and performers, introducing them to the professional entertainment industry. But now, tell me about what does Welsh Factor guarantee the potential talent?
The guarantee is that we will help people as much as we possibly can. We find that when we discover talent that comes to the Welsh Factor, more often than not, is raw talent, and a lot of the people that come there need some guidance. So the first thing we do is we give them advice that perhaps if it's required, to point them in the direction of a very good voice coach. Then we ourselves we can design an act for them and put it in order, so to speak. In other words, we can program their show, so they will know what they need to do from the time that they step on stage to the time that they come off the stage, so they can go on the stage then with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people come to us and say, "Oh, well, I lack confidence." Well, confidence is not knowing what to do. When you know what to do, you have confidence.
Absolutely.
So it's and I find that training comes into it quite a lot. And what we need to do, or what we have done, is to gather people together. We've started a little show called the Showstoppers, and we are preparing now to go out and produce this show when the pandemic is over, and we give them permission by our governments, so that we can go out and we can sing in the valleys again.
Interesting.
I got some viewer questions. Okay,
Yes.
David, somebody wants to know, with a daddy-daughter business, where is Mrs. Thomas?
Where's Mrs. Thomas? Well, she is behind the scenes. She's the glue that holds us both together, and we go to her for advice. And sometimes we don't have to go to her for advice, because she will give it. And so
A
she
true
is
queen,
an
a
integral
true
part of the team.
That's a true queen
Wow, okay.
indeed.
Okay, so it's actually a family affair.
I love it. I
Okay,
love it.
I like that question. That brought some more information out. Also, let's see, another viewer. How much will it cost to make my daughter a star? She is already a brilliant singer. Oh. Okay.
Well-
Mom's confident. Okay.
Well, yeah.
That's a good question. It depends what kind of tutor you get on. As far as the Welsh Factor is concerned, we don't make any money at all out of developing people. We do that as a gift if they come into the Welsh Factor. And tuition. They make arrangements with the tutor. What the rate is, and but we point them in that direction so that they can have the best training.
That's wonderful.
That is wonderful. Now for you, GT, with decades of experience and the ability to see talent before anybody else even notices, you can see that potential and that talent. What is it that you look for in that prospective talent? What is it that you see that you're like, that's the one?
Well, one, that they've got a passion. You mentioned passion, when in your introduction, and
Yes.
I love that. When you've got passion and when you've got a talent, I always tell people that if you've got a God-given talent, you've got a responsibility to present that talent to the world. Because if you don't do it, you don't deprive yourself, you deprive people like the likes of me that would benefit from that talent.
Mm-hmm.
And that talent can be a ministry, it can be uplifting, and it's something that people could enjoy. And that's what you have to do in life. It's about giving. It's giving your talent to the world.
Absolutely.
You know what what you said a couple of times is that I appreciate and I like hearing is that you minister through your ability to network people together.
That's correct. Yes.
And that's good leadership, and I'd like to commend you on that.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have found in life that when you give people respect and recognition, it is like gold to them.
Yes. Yes, it is. In fact, you
It's
know,
like gold.
some is maybe wondering about some of the talent, and we have a video compilation. This is just a sample of the greatness that Fear Factor has on offer. I love the stage, the stage presence. The whole production is so great.
Welsh Factor.
Did I say Welsh Factor?
No, you said Fear Factor.
I said Fear Factor. Lord have mercy.
Same thing. I'm sure
Welsh-
people are nervous when they get up on stage.
Well.
You don't want to go on the Fear Factor, that's for sure. I've seen photos of that.
But when you get on stage, fear is in existence at all. So look at this compilation that I have of some of the talents that is there at Welsh Factor. Does that just melt you inside to see that you have an avenue, a platform, and an impact on the future?
Yes, that's and not only that, people who come into the Welsh Factor and the people who go to the final, it's designed to be quite a variety show. And what we've done of late, we've separated age groups of contestants, so you don't get little Susie competing with perhaps a well mature opera singer for words. So they've got their own categories as such. So that and dancers the same. So dancers are not competing against singers, and vocal instrumentalists and songwriters are not competing against things that are not in their genre or perhaps in their category. So we feel, that as far as the Welsh Factor is concerned, we want to make it the fairest competition around, and I think we've achieved that because I feel, that in variety was designed to give a bit of a flavor, if you like, so that when people are watching a show, they watch something different. Now, for me, I can't see, with competitions that you can judge one kind of variety act against another, because it's all part of the same package, and it's all part of the same production.
That brings up an interesting question, though, David. One of the viewers says, I see a lot of young aspiring talent. What about senior citizens?
Sorry?
Wow.
They seen young aspiring. Let me look at that again, what they said. I see lots of young aspiring talent. What about us senior citizens?
Oh.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
You have a senior citizen asking, what is
Oh,
it?
right, senior citizens.
Yeah,
Yes.
do you take senior citizen talent?
Well, there's no age limit to the Welsh Factor. You can once you if you won, if you can do something or whatever, we'll accept you.
Right.
You
If
know,
you got it, you got
if
it,
you're on the
man.
last legs with a Zimmer frame, you can still take part.
Right.
There's, we don't. I think what's the word I'm looking for?
Don't discriminate. I
Yeah,
mean,
we don't
if you,
discriminate for any
Word
reason.
discriminates. Yes, thank
yeah,
you.
hey,
Yeah,
if you got it, you got it, right?
that's right. Yeah, we don't discriminate against anyone. You know, they can come into the Welsh Factor and they will be welcome.
Well, that is so great to hear. That is outstanding. You know, as the head of training and development at Welsh Factor, David Garrett Thomas, what areas do you develop? What areas in development do you focus on? Like, okay, self-esteem, confidence. What areas are classes or tutoring classes is offered to help build someone that comes through your platform for development?
Well, what I find is that when you've got a person with talent, you can show them one or two things. You can give them to tutors who specialize in various areas, but there's nothing can compensate for experience. No one can give it to you, and you cannot buy it. You've got to feel it for yourself, and you've got to go out and you've got to actually do the job. Don't ever be afraid of making mistakes, because if you show me someone that's never made a mistake, I'll show you someone that's never done anything.
Right.
So it's a case that you've got to get out there. You don't need anybody's permission, and you don't need anybody's approval. You've got the talent. You've got to make it shine.
That is so very true. That is so very true. You know, there's not one single formula for success. You have to want it. You have to have the passion. Sure, it's going to take hard work, but it definitely pays off. I was honored to meet, and I tell you, I love her so, Bethany Jones. I also love Alan Preston. Those are former contestants with you at Welsh Factor. They are my favorite. I mean, I'm blown away when I saw the first video of Bethany, and I was like, wow, look at that stage presence. Look at that confidence, and the range of what she was doing was amazing. So I'm going to ask you, when you first saw Bethany, what did you see in her?
I saw in Bethany a latent talent, and to develop. She'd already been doing musicals as such and playing in part. But one thing that Alan and Bethany have got is total commitment to their cause and to their talent. And we put on a number of shows. We get a number of people coming in to projects that we arrange, and sometimes they have a 50-50 commitment. And what I say that is, if you want to achieve anything, and you commit yourself to it, if you want to do that, you will do it. If not, you'll find a reason not to, or you'll find an excuse.
So have you ever had an instance, David, where the talent is the young adult and the parent is having some type of issue with the way things are going within your organization? Did I say that correct? You know what I'm trying to say, Smooth, about
Yeah,
that?
I hear you. They some people feel that the child should be developing faster than what they can, and in reality, that doesn't happen. You've got to leave the child and the talent develop at their own pace, and it's and if they will, once they do that, they'll feel more comfortable within themselves for doing it. We've got a criteria because the talent show leads to the professional entertainment industry, and there are standards there that you have to meet, and a criteria and a level of professionalism that you've got to attain to. And unfortunately, a lot of people think that they are ready before they are, and that is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, it takes quite a lot of skill and persuasion to try and show people that this is not the case, because I don't want to expose any talent into an audience that would eat them alive, because, or if they show a bit of fear,
Mm-hmm.
the audience will really lap it up. And I feel, that I want to protect people from these kind of things until they're absolutely ready.
Absolutely.
Now then, I am. I know that people will go out, and we put people out, and we'll give them perhaps their first professional engagement. We know that they will make mistakes, and because everybody does, but you've got to be in that kind of live environment in order to feel it. Because if you get a sports person, for example, you can have the best athlete in the world, but and I'm talking perhaps in terms of teams, with players. A player can be fit, very, very fit, but there's a difference between being fit and being match fit when you have to play in the arena. And that is the difference. So it's a case that when people go out from an academy, if you like, and they do their first show, then they've got to get used to that environment. Once they get used to that environment, they find then that things will fall in place. And what I do tell a lot of singers that come through the Welsh Factor is that you'll come across a time in your life and in your career when you feel everything fall in place. I don't know when it will come. You won't know when it will come. But when it comes, you'll know it. And I'll know it.
I have a question for you, David. When it comes to somebody's branding or, let's say, outward imaging, okay, while they're on stage, do you work with them on that or have any say-so in that once they join Welsh Factor?
Yes, my daughter does that. She's very strong in branding, because we branded the Welsh Factor. And it's a case of lining up all your social media so that, it complements every level. And, you've got to make that your brand, and you will be known by your brand. And the brand is very, very important.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Good question, Smooth.
Yeah, I was interested in that. And the reason that I asked that, and I didn't know if you go to this degree, David, is we've had people that have been on some of the other major entertainment type shows here in the U.S. that does kind of the same thing of what you're doing, sir.
Well, just who are you talking about? You're talking about like
the Voice,
American
or
Idol,
AGT.
The Voice.
These we've had, and a lot of times, they get somewhat discouraged because the promoter and or the particular show wants to kind of completely rebrand their image, and they're not even necessarily completely, but give them a certain way that they should be dressing, a certain way that they should be wearing their hairstyle, a certain way that they should be presenting their musical talent in this, let's say in this instance, whether it be country and western, rock and roll, or whatever it may be. Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. But I'll give you two viewpoints on this. One, the people who want to rebrand other people, you have to remember that they are industry professionals. They're at the top of their game. And if they see something and they can rebrand a person so that they become famous, etc., and well known, then that's one road to go down. That's one viewpoint. And in a lot of cases, it's very successful. Sometimes people don't feel comfortable by being rebranded, and they've got to do it themselves. They want to do it themselves their own way. They want to take total control of their own direction. Now then, there's nothing wrong in that, because in today's world, especially with the internet and the marketing tools that we have, they can do that themselves, because Simon Cowell, who everybody knows, is part of America's Got Talent and Britain's Got Talent. Simon Cowell, he will brand people in what he thinks is right, because what you've got to realize is that these people are financing the whole deal, and if they're going to put their own money on the table, then it's only right then that they decide what's going. But Simon Cowell has always tried to have the number one hit around Christmas. And one day, or one time, there was a group called Rage Against the Machine, and they took the number one spot. And they didn't have a big companies behind them in any way, shape, or form. They just went and did it. But Simon Cowell acknowledged it, and he phoned them up and congratulated them on what they did achieve. So it's a double-edged sword in that respect. You can do it on your own if you know how to. But at the same time, then the other people who do want to do the rebranding and such, always remember it is the money that is on the table.
I do really appreciate your professional perspective on that, truly.
Absolutely.
And the one thing that I would like to say, and Queen and I often discuss, is we've had the opportunity to meet some Grammy winners, and it's the person on stage and the person that you actually sit down and have a chit chat with privately are sometimes so totally different
When they get to that stage.
Because their brand on stage is
Yeah.
sometimes is totally different than kind of who they are and to the core.
Yeah, so that can happen.
Absolutely. So now, have you ran across these new artists, now that, back in the day, it was all about the musicians being signed to a contract. Now you have a lot of independent artists and things. And now go a step beyond that, you have the World Wide Web. Have you ran across any artists who think that they're already there because they've got so many followers on their YouTube video, and they really don't know, the business aspect, because it is a business?
That's correct. And a lot of people come into this industry thinking that all they have to do is present their talent and somebody else will do all the work for them. Well, those days are gone a long time ago. So you've got to have a business focus, because it's called show business for one reason. It is a business.
Yes.
And that's what people forget. It is a business. If you go into the professional arena, you have to earn money. There's nothing more simple than that. And every business does that. If a shop or a brand, has customers, then fans, as far as an artist is concerned, are their customers. So it's a case of collecting or gathering as many fans as possible, and the bigger your fan base, the bigger your business. And it's a case that you have to sell products and endorse products, by the creation of your brand, and this is what will make you money. Now then, I saw Dollar at one time. They were being interviewed on television, and I was working in the agency, and I had the television was on, and I was paying passive interest to it. And they were talking on about their gigs and things like this. But what I said really took me by surprise, and it made my ears prick up. And they said, do you know that we make 80% of our turnover by selling merchandise? Not by the concert tours, not by what is at the box office, but by the merchandise. And these days, because you're on the internet as such, it's easy to put a shop online and to sell your merchandise online. Mm-hmm. But it's your kind of responsibility to gather your customers and to market yourself to your customers. So what I try to tell artists, or I ask them one question: when you do a gig or when you do a show, what do you come away from that show with apart from your fee? And they look at me as if I'd come from outer space. And I say, well, he said, well, what should I come away with? And nothing. We come away with a fee. We've had a good time. And I said, yeah, but they said there's something you've missed. I said, what's that? So have you talked to people, after the show? Yes. Have you asked them for their email address? No. Well, why should I ask them for their email address? Well, you need to get a form whereby you can put your email address, you can collect people's emails address, collect their date of birth, because then it's their birthday, and you can send them, and say, for example, everybody has a birthday. Everybody's born with a birthday. They come into this world with a birthday.
Right.
You can, when it is their birthday, you can send out a letter acknowledging the birthday, just to wish them happy birthday. by that, you were teaching them, you were giving them respect and recognition. I said, you'll never lose that customer afterwards. When you go to sell merchandise or whatever, and when you send your emails out, they'll remember that and they'll acknowledge that, and they'll probably buy off you
That is so.
because there is some kind of connection.
You know, that made me think.
Yep, that's true.
We had another artist on the show who he was talking that one of the things that he really missed, and you mentioned it, David, was after the show, coming from backstage, getting out to the swag counter, the merchandise counter rather, and interacting with the audience that came to see him. And he said, you know, it really bothered him that, you know, towards the end of the pandemic here, you know, a few months ago, when they started at least letting some people in, he still was very uncomfortable to get out there to merchandise tables with all these people. And I think
But
now,
there's something powerful about merchandise, and a lot of people don't realize what it is. I'll tell you what it is. When I started the agency, there were a number of artists, you know, in South Wales that were box office attractions. In other words, we call them ticket shows. If venues would make ticket shows out of them because they were that good. And I remember speaking to an entertainment client at one time, and he wanted a particular artist, and I said, and he was prepared to pay over the odds for this artist, and I said, well, any particular reason why you're prepared to pay so much money? And he said, yes, I've got his CD in my car. So what these box office attractions were doing, because they were selling records or selling CDs and selling their music and selling their products, it formed a link between them and the person who was buying it. And because they were playing, you know, their music, and the music was they were being entertained by the music, then that formed a bit of a bond then between them and the artist. So that made it easier to sell tickets to these people.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the secret. And I felt it was very, very powerful.
It very much is. I think also hashtags. I think hashtags are becoming important as well, as far as getting yourself out there. When you hashtag the certain keywords to even your album, your picture, your website, when people go on the World Wide Web and type in those keywords, they're going to also pull you up. You want people to remember you in every kind of way there is, and you want to
if you're in country music, hashtag country music, so that when people Google country music, you come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're correct. You were right. You're spot on.
Yeah. So, you know, you are doing some fantastic things. That's not even the tip of the iceberg with you. I tell you, I found you to be so amazing, David Garrett Thomas. I like saying that too, you know. Garrett David Thomas. That I found you to be so amazing that honestly, if I was to really sit here and have a full conversation with you, we'd probably go into dinner, snack time, and maybe breakfast. We'd be sitting here like going at it for a long time. But I hope that you're enjoying this tip of the iceberg of David Garrett Thomas. He is the CEO and founder of Welsh Factor, the largest and longest. You know what, David? What classifies you as being the largest in Wales?
Well, because we put on the largest show in South Wales, we've built the Welsh Factor to an extent now that on our final we get over 1,000 people in. Onto the for the show.
Wow!
It lasts for 5 or 6 hours. We have a massive video screen behind. So prior to the show, I'm talking quite some time before the show, the artists submit their soundtracks to us, and Anna, my daughter, then she does the graphics for the video screen.
Wow!
So they've got they are more or less in a kind of movie set when they're performing on stage, and that applies to the dancers, to whatever act is on the final. They will have that video screen behind them, and it's filmed so that they'll have a memento of that as well.
Can I ask a question, David? What is Wales' perspective on crowds right now, and are there restrictions, and when do you expect those to be lifted?
Well, we are still under lockdown and under phase 2 now. We've gone from 3 to 2. but it seems that hospitality is right at the bottom list of priorities as far as the government is concerned. So we're waiting, for the lifting of those restrictions so that we can continue our business once again.
Absolutely. You're not the only one. Let me tell you, in this past year, entertainment industry, your neighbor, it doesn't matter. Everyone is being impacted and affected by this pandemic. How deep or how much impact has this past year been for yourself and for Welsh Factor?
Well, we just haven't been able to do anything, and it's had a massive impact because but at the same time, I'm a person that in the face of adversity, turn it around to your advantage. And what we've done in that time, we've created the Showstopper Show, which we've been rehearsing on Zoom every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and of late every Wednesday and Friday. And people have come on there, to learn a new show. Zoom isn't the ideal facility to do that.
Yeah.
But when we meet together physically, all we'll have to do then is tweak the show so that we can get it right. But most of the hard work has already been done now in the last 15 months, since we've been on lockdown.
Wow.
Unfortunately, David, I think even the major networks here are utilizing Zoom, and you're right. It's not the best platform, but it's what's available for people to get themselves out there. And hey, you take advantage of what you can. I got a couple of comments. Nicola Jones.
We know Nicola.
She's giving you a shout out. And Sarah Oliver. And also, let's say, Opal Bon.
Sarah Oliver is a really talented young girl.
And Opal.
She's part of the Showstoppers, the same as, Bethany and Nicola and Alan.
Okay. They're giving you shout outs. And Opal Bonfante? Sound right?
That's Opal's daughter, Bluebell. She is quite a character. Now, there is a star in the making there,
Say her name again.
Bluebell.
Bluebell.
Okay.
Well, we're looking forward to.
I sent you a clip of Bluebell.
Oh my gosh! Yes, you are so correct. Now I know. This little girl. What was that song she was singing? She has great stage presence. She got on stage and was like doing her. She can sing. Is she an actress as well? Because man, her stage presence. She stood there with such grace and confidence. I fell in love with her.
There's one word that I can describe Bluebell.
Yes.
And that's limitless.
Wow, that's a big word.
That's a big word for a little girl who has a great future ahead of her, let me just say. And confidence and But another one who has one also, you can tell me about this musical that you're working on, or if you completed it, Thou Art the Christ. Now, we're going to showcase in a moment a young man out of in Italy.
Yeah.
Rio Scabana.
He's come to live in Wales, Rio Scabona.
Scabona.
He's Italian. And quite a precocious talent.
Yes, I've seen numerous videos over the last couple of days of this young gentleman, and he has not only confidence but a great, powerful voice. He can range and do such great things. You picked him for the singing of this yourself?
Yes, yeah, he was. He's a bit special, to be quite frank with you, and such a nice young man as well. If anybody engages Rio Scabona for a show, he's so helpful. He puts everybody at ease and makes them relax.
Well, that is outstanding.
He connects very well with the audience. He can work any size audience.
So tell me about the musical before we play the song.
Well, the musical, when I was in church, I used to write my own songs. And I thought, well, it would be good to do a musical out of it. So, I'm doing this off and on. But I thought, well, I'd record the theme song with Rio, and get him to do that. So at least anybody who wants to learn anything of that, at least then they've got a prototype. Because when you write music and you compose the lyrics and you can't sing yourself, it's very difficult to put it over. And there's no prototype for that. The best I can do is give them a melody line over the orchestration and tell them, well, you know, there it is. God bless you, my son or daughter, and get on with it.
Absolutely. But see, now that's where I'm having a problem at. From some past guests on the show, songwriters, you know, I've been trying to learn how to write a song because a song is a story, right?
Yeah.
And so my problem is I started writing this song and I never knew how to stop the song. So now the song, I think I'm going to just make into a freaking book.
Like a concerto or something.
Or a musical.
Yeah, or perhaps a musical. You're absolutely correct. I mean, my story was just so continuously, I never knew how to turn off the song. But listen, that's
called a fertile imagination.
That's quite all right. Well, listen, it's a great it's a great piece. It's a great song. I look forward to the musical. Rio does it justice for this song, and I want to share it with you. It is Thou Art the Christ, right here on the Queen Sylvie Show.
If you wear glasses or contacts, you must see this.
What fruit is best for weight loss? When I finally regained control of my health, the fruit that helped me the most was lemons. There's so many weight loss nutrients in a lemon, but the best ones are in the peel. To get them out, slice up 5 lemons and boil them in 1.5 gallons of water. This is basically healthy lemon water that you can drink anytime to boost your metabolism and have way more energy. But that's just the start. You also need to take advantage
He who healed the sick and made the blind eye see, and who was he who came into my life and set me free? Then I didn't know his name or what he did for me, but now I know this man from Galilee. Thou art the Christ, the Son of God. Thou art the King of Israel. Thou art the Word become in flesh to dwell with me. Thou art my King, my joy, my way. You turn my darkness into the day. Thou art the Christ, thou art the Christ, the Son of God. Oh, was he who saw me in my sin, condemned to die? And who was he who healed me and listened to me cry? Who was he who spoke the word and made me bow the knee? He is the promised one from Galilee. Thou art the Christ, the Son of God. Thou art the King of Israel. Thou art the Word become in flesh to dwell with me. Thou art my King, my joy, my way. You turn my darkness into the day. Thou art the Christ, thou art the Christ, the Son of God. What would you say of this man who would be king? And what would you say of him who saved the world from sin? Jesus, my Messiah, there's no other to compare. This Jesus is the Christ, I do declare. Thou art the Christ, the Son of God. Thou art the King of Israel. Thou art the Word become in flesh to dwell with me. Thou art my King, my joy, my way. You turn my darkness into the day. Thou art the Christ, thou art the Christ, the Son of God. Thou art the Christ, thou art the Christ, the Son of God, the Son of God, the Son of God.
He is definitely going places. I kid you not. Great talent. Rio, and I'm going to spell his last name because I want everyone to go to YouTube. He does have a YouTube channel where there is even more great music from this young man. Rio, R-I-O is his first name. Scibona, and I may be saying it correct or not, but S-C-I-B-O-N-A, representing Welsh Factor very well indeed. This young man has it going on. David Garrett Thomas, you do put great touch and great development and inspiration on so much talent. Audience, give it up for him again because, listen, that's what a lot. There's so much talent out here in the world, and some people only needs to get that confidence so that they can realize what they have and take another level. And if they don't have the support, if they don't have the family support, no friend support, it's sometimes easier to just give up than to actually take heed of your gift. You believe that?
I certainly do, yes. I think, there's a message to everybody on the planet that if you see someone with talent, don't kill it. Give them encouragement.
Absolutely.
Because people who've got talent feel very insecure with that talent. And it's you would be doing them a great service with a bit of encouragement and to acknowledgement that they do have the talent, because you may not have their talent and you may have a different kind of talent. And it's a case of reciprocating encouragement one to another.
Absolutely. So tell me, how can someone become a part of Welsh Factor? What must they do?
Just apply online at www.welshfactor.com.
That's simple.
Yes, that's easy.
That is so great. That is great. Hey, you know what? When things do pick up more, will you keep me informed on the process, on when you're doing auditions, when there's doing shows? I'd love to continue to share this out to our global audience.
Yeah, I would be delighted to, and thank you very much for that invitation.
You're very welcome. Now, before I let you go, I must reveal one of your other talents that that's right, David Garrett Thomas does. Yeah, and I'm a big fan of poetry, and I find that you are a poet. You also have a book. Is the book Poems of Life?
Yes, that's correct.
Tell me about the book and how can someone get it?
It's on Amazon, and I put on the Poems of Life on Facebook page. There's a link there to the site whereby you can either download a copy or even purchase a copy.
Absolutely. So, honor me if you will.
Well, I'll do a poem for one that is in the book. It hasn't. I haven't printed it on social media, but I'll read it to you. It's called The Hitchhiker. It was a long time in the past when people thumbed a lift. It was left to generous drivers to provide this honest gift. Most people had no money or missed the last bus home. Maybe they had broken down to walk the road alone. A lot of people had a lift and grateful for it too. It saved them walking quite a way or getting soaked right through. It got them home much earlier and aching muscles saved. And to the Good Samaritan, goodbye they often waved. There are so many weird tales where strange events took place. The truth is stranger than fiction throughout the human race. Drivers see in stormy nights the shadows in the road, and then their imagination takes on a different mode. The rain was pouring gently, and the road was dark as night. He was riding on his motorbike when he saw a figure white. As his journey brought him closer, she was thumbing on her way. She had her back toward him, but nothing did she say. He asked where she was heading, but silenced his reply. She handed him a little note. The address on it was dry. He told her climb behind him. Her house was 73. He knew where she was living. She'd be safe as safe could be. He came to street and number, but his passenger had gone. All feelings of great anxiety, with deep horror now was strong. Had she fallen off the bike when going round a bend? What could he do in all concern? Where would this problem end? He reflected on their meeting. Though the rain was pouring down, there was no sign of water or drenching on her gown. Her hair was dry and pretty, her makeup all in place, no sign of any protection, but he never saw her face. He knocked the door of 73 and explained the note and tale of how he saved their daughter from the weather and the gale. The old man said, you met the ghost, with my daughter you did ride. The place where you had picked her up was the place where she had died. That piece of road is dangerous, where many lost their life. It was 4 days ago today, the poor man said in strife. The rider showed the written note he held within his hand, but as they looked upon it, the paper turned to sand.
Wow. Oh, yes. Where's the snapping? I'm going to snap too. They do that too with poetry. They like, oh, that's very good. How much truth and realness is that? Or is that something that's...
It was from when I was young. There was... we used to, there was a road from Bridgend to a place called Caira, and there was a place where the old paper mills are Llangennech, you know, in the Welsh language, and there was many motorcyclists there. When people were hitchhiking, used to pick up this girl, and many stories were told that they would take her to a house in Caira, and the parents used to tell a lot of people of what I related in the poem.
Wow.
So it was a ghost, you know, that was, they picked up a ghost, and they encountered a ghost on a stormy night, and it was identical weather, you know, when she lost her life, and
Wow.
she came off a motorcycle, you know, and that's why, you know, that you know, it has such a potent ending there, you know. It was you know, we reminisced on that, you know, many times, you know, and many people told that story.
I love it.
Oh, it's a form. It's a form of healing too.
I thought I'd put it into poetry.
I think that's a form of healing too, David, when you're able to write that down, because obviously you have, they like to, what's the term they like to use, PTSD. When a friend, you don't even have to witness it, but just to take that type of an impact on your life, we all need to dispel that off of us and somehow make it a positive, and that seems what you've done.
Oh, we're full of compliments. We got it going on over here on the Queen Sylvie Show, because I am so honored to have David Garrett Thomas.
Well, I'm honored to be on the show.
To have you on the show. You know what?
I enjoyed myself, to be quite honest with you, and I think, you know, that you and Tim are doing a fantastic job, you know, in running this space. Yeah.
Well,
Say
we
it
thank
again.
you.
now.
You know what is so relatable too is a lot of people, and we've talked to other promoters here in the United States, and now we've had the opportunity to talk to you, David. Everybody, a lot of them have the same philosophy in working with some of these young people. We've also had the opportunity to see some of these young artists, some of the young guns, where Gibson puts on this young guns, and they pick up these 6 kids around the country to turn them into musical superstars on the guitar. and we know a couple of them, and
Yeah.
and they are so shy, and you're waiting to see them completely develop.
Yeah.
And I love what you're doing.
I love what you're doing as well. Shout out to Anna Marie Thomas as well, because whoo, she is. You know, if she was a guy, I would say she got balls. You know what I'm saying? People say that about me, and I do have balls. See, here they go.
Yeah.
When I get stressed out, I just.
Stress balls. That's right.
But you know what? Hats off to everything that you guys are doing. I look for more, bigger, and better things for Welsh Factor, GT Management, Promotions, everything. She has, is it artist management?
Yes, she's got her own agency, Artist Management, and you know, she takes people under her wing from time to time. But I know for a fact that when she gets hold of them and puts them through the paces, they are something special.
That is outstanding. Well, you know, the world is changing. We're getting through this pandemic. What changes for you, David, do you want to see in the industry going forward?
Well, I've because of a lack of income during the last pandemic, or the recent pandemic, not the last one, the recent one, we're exploring ways now whereby we can make artists that come through the books financially secure, so that if a pandemic comes, at least they will have an income. And
Yes.
and I'm going to start doing that, with new acts that are coming on, so that you've got an income every week that they can enjoy their talent, and they're not going to be under pressure through a lack of substance coming in. In other words, they're not going to be relying on finance to promote their career, because that will already be in place.
Absolutely. And you know, here in the United States, there are artists, music artists, who go on tours. And, you know, that was their bread and butter. That was how they made a living, going on tours. Well, the pandemic swiped that out. And there are certain celebrities, certain stars here that has funds and raising funds to help them. With their bills and life and things like that. And it is important, because we're all human, first of all. And, things happen, and you must stay strong and faithful. Recreate. That's why I always say during this pandemic, it hasn't hurt me any, because of my mind. I'm constantly creating, staying busy. Make a difference. Call somebody that needs to hear your voice. There's so many things we can do to keep ourselves stable and still moving forward. We're all going to get through this. I believe in faith over fear, and 'tis only the beginning of even more great things to come. So, David Garrett Thomas, tell everybody how you can be followed on social media and contacted for more information on Welsh Factor.
Well, we've got a Facebook page, which is Welsh Factor Talent Competitions. They can join there. My Twitter account is GT Management, GT Welsh Factor. My daughter, she started off first, and so she had the prime name. She is Welsh Factor. And if anybody wants to enter the Welsh Factor Talent Competition and contact us, just fill in an application form on www.welshfactor.com.
Fantastic.
That is fantastic.
Seems simple, folks, so there's no excuse not to do it.
Got to put in that effort. You got to follow that passion, and you want to.
And also, we got a Welsh Factor YouTube channel as well, which if people want to have a look at that, they can see performances of recent people that took part in the Welsh Factor.
Well, I advise people to do that,
Let me
because
ask
it's
you a quick
amazing.
question. Since it is on YouTube, and I'm not sure where this guy is from. He did not. Well, yeah, obviously he's from the USA. Do you want any American talent? If so, I'm your guy.
Tim, how could I refuse?
Right? So, hey.
So whoever, so basically, I guess what they're asking they'd have to come to Wales to actually audition and perform on your show, right?
That's right. Yes.
But it really doesn't matter what part of the world they're from. Am I correct?
That's correct. Yeah,
that's how you know someone's serious.
Against anyone.
That's how you know someone's serious too. They're going to go to that length to get the best and to become the best.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
All right. Hey, let me give a few shout outs if I can. They were flying through here. Some sent yesterday evening. Beth Lambert, shout out to you. Nicola Jones, Kay Cross, some of those names you know. Queen D. Brown, Serious Edition, Stump Dog, shout out to you. Shout out to Melanie Gore Dodd. Shout out to Alan Sutton, Chester Baton, Queen Shanette. Shout out to you. Shout out to Renita Easley, Willie George, Elisa Elam, Edith Verhoek out of the Netherlands, shout out to you. Shout out to Miguel Monteban out of Spain, shout out to you. Hero Boy, he's out of Africa, shout out to you. Jay and Liam Smith. Now, these are two brothers in the United Kingdom that is doing such great things during this pandemic. They created a cartoons that they have now blowing up on YouTube. It's called The Popcorn Family and Friends, and they now have a new cartoon called Hotel High. And I am here to say they are such good friends now of the Queen Sylvia Show that they have made Queen Sylvia and Smooth Tim a cartoon character, and we too are now in a few of the episodes in their cartoons over in United Kingdoms, and I can't tell you how appreciative I am to be a part of that. Shout out to Jay and Liam Smith. That is their name. Smith Sketch is their channel on YouTube. Check them out. Angela Baker out of United Kingdom. Shout out to you. Alan Preston, you know. Shout out to you as well as Bethany Jones. Shout out to Queen Khaki, Queen Sonia, Queen Shanika Orr Smith, Cynthia LP, Queen Sonia, Donna Ferry. Shout out to you all. I appreciate you sending in your shout outs throughout the week.
Everybody heard you was coming on the show.
I promise to give those shout outs. Yeah, I promise to give those shout outs, and I will always represent you all very well. Thank you for doing it. If you are watching the show live, I want you to know the Queen Sylvia and Smooth Tim, we love and appreciate you. If you are watching this later on a replay, listen, our love is everlasting. We love and appreciate you as well. Follow Welsh Factor. Look up and follow, become friends, ask questions. If you have questions further beyond this show for David, Garrett, Thomas, CEO and founder of Welsh Factor, get in contact with him. He will not tell no lie, but only give you the advice that you need and provide for you. So, David, before you go, what I want to do is, I usually do an icebreaker at the beginning of the show, but no, we're going to do it at the end of the show because I want everyone to know that backed by popular demand, starting in June, the Queen Sylvia Show is bringing back our game entitled Sylvia Mid. Now you're saying, why is it called Sylvia Mid? Well, because I said so. That's why. What it is a simple game where there's words. You will guess the words that Smooth is describing. Now, we're going to be giving away cash and prizes every month on Sylvia Mid, playing it every week at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And for our selected 2 guests, they will play against Smooth, and the winner will go into a drawing for that monthly cash and prizes. So, as an example right now, David, Garrett, Thomas, Smooth has some words that he's going to describe without saying the word. And you are going to try and guess what it is that he's describing. Now, on the game, it'll be timed, but we're not timing it here. Just relax and guess these simple, easy words that Smooth have for you. Are you ready, Smooth?
Ready.
All right, here we go.
First, musicians use this, and it contains notes, staffs.
Manuscript.
Manuscript is the same as sheet music?
Yes.
You got it.
Boom, boom, boom.
You got it. Next word.
Okay, you do this in drama class before a play, and you'll do this with your other actors before you film.
Rehearse.
Woo! Yes! This man knows it. What else?
Okay, achoo.
Sneeze.
Yes! You see? You are showing the world how easy this is going to be.
To keep him off the game.
What else?
Okay, breakfast, lunch, and
Sorry?
Breakfast, lunch, and
Dinner. I love food.
Me too.
now wait. Yeah, he's automatically disqualified. You are too good at this game.
2 more words. We'll go with 2 more.
Okay. In the summertime, this is the absolute best thing to have in your backyard, and especially if you have a floaty.
Sorry?
I said this would be the best thing to have in your backyard in the summer, especially if you had flotation devices. And a diving board.
Swimming pool.
Yeah. I love how you were really thinking. You're like, wait a minute, what? Last word.
Okay. Wimbledon.
Tennis.
There you go. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. Thank you. See, there wasn't hard. We can get harder, but no, we were going to just break the ice and give an example of just how you play Sylvie Mid. That's how it's
He's
done.
pretty good at it.
Yeah, you're pretty good, David.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, listen, before you go, is there anything that you want to add or anything you want to say, any upcoming performances or anything that you want to share?
No, because at present we haven't got anything to announce because of the current pandemic lockdown. But I would really like to show my appreciation to you, for inviting me on the show.
Absolutely.
And Tim as well. And I thoroughly enjoyed your company, and you presented the show with love, sincerity, and honesty. And God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too. We will definitely be in touch with you. I want to spread more of David Garrett Thomas as well as Anna Marie Thomas, 2 dynamic duos doing fantastic things over in Wales and the worldwide with Welsh Factor. So definitely keep us informed on anything, and I'll gladly share it out.
Totally our pleasure. Thank you.
I certainly will.
Thank you
so much.
Have a good evening.
And you. God bless.
I enjoy my conversation with David Garrett Thomas. This guy is smart. He is
awesome.
doing some great things. Listen, what a blessing he is to the world and
it's
talent.
a proper attitude. That's why I said that's a good leader. When you're doing those things for the right reason and you're bringing people into a network to help them develop their talents, and that's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about.
And the payback from it is just so inspiring to me when I see that, somebody being developed or we've had the opportunity to help, and it's unbelievable. And one thing he pointed on I thought was kind of interesting, Queen, was, things opening back up. And we have some of our close personal friends, they've toured the world. And even they are like nervous to get back up on stage.
Well, I understand a little bit of that
Right.
hesitant about getting back on, but
You've been doing this, some of these guys have been doing this 30, 40 years, and they're nervous to get back up in front of people again. I mean, it's been, 2 years almost?
Well,
for some people?
some is creating other ways of doing this as well. Some, I have seen artists that I've never seen them in concert because their tickets cost so much money. But because of this pandemic, because, they've shifted to the World Wide Web, the internet, and doing live shows or Facebook live shows and things like that, I've now seen a lot of artists that I never would have seen anywhere else. You must create. You must constantly create. Fill the void of negativity with creation. Create the opportunity. If the door didn't open for you, create a door. Let someone know. Hashtag all the time whenever you do anything. Push, 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 and keep the effort in. And by all means, if you don't know, ask. That's the simple thing, ask.
And everybody's hurt by this. I mean, it doesn't matter where you're at. You could be a major label star, or you could be somebody just starting out, and everybody is suffering financially from this whole squeeze. And,
Well, if you feel like you're against the wall, you don't
and
know.
like you said, there's help out there.
There's help out there. If you feel like you are against the wall and you are in a stuck and you know that you have something to offer, hey, look at Mr. David Garrett Thomas. Look at what they're doing. This is where you need to go. If that wall or door closed on you, Open it up. Go get the help. Get the development. Get the confidence. Go out and do it. We want to hear what you have to offer. I'd love to have you on the show as well. In fact, if you are a talent and you would love to be on the Queen Sylvia Show, hey, we'd love to have you. Hit me up at queensylvia@comic.com. Follow me on the webpage, The Queen Sylvia Show. You can find me everywhere, and I mean like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram,
Post
Kroger's,
office.
down the street, at the post office. I'm trying to get in the library. Hey, anywhere I can get in at.
Promotion's promotion, right?
That's what you must do. Exactly. Smooth, how can you be followed?
You follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and again, the best way to get a hold of us right at the top of the screen is join our Facebook club, our Queen Sylvia Club, off of the website www.thequeensylviashow.com. And you can contact us, leave us an email, leave us a message, anything you'd like. And we'll get back with you. Promise.
We promise. We most definitely will get back and continue to shout outs again. Thank you all for sending in your shout outs. I will shout you out again. Just let me know you want to be shouted out, and guess what? I got it. Tune in next week as well. We have another great lineup of guests for the show. And I think that's about it.
That's about it. So I guess until next week.
Because I'm hungry. I'm ready to go eat.
Too. We're going to go eat. Then we are out of here.
Yes, we are.
So until next week, same Queen time, same Queen station.
Hey.
We'll holla.